and do all that.
Well, it just started off as a bit of a movement, didn't it? Of like our group of friends and like our passion for riding, and started making our own t-shirts, like buying in white t-shirts and tie-dyeing them under all the lads originally, just as a bit of merch, as our crew as a fun thing to do, and then that's just like slowly evolved into the brand it is now, hasn't it? And the YouTube channel kind of coexists with the brand, and we've always put videos of us just riding how we want to, not really trying to conform, just doing jibs or riding tracks, whatever it is. And yeah, Loose has grown the brand from what it started as to what it is now. And what are we, 5-6 years in?
Nah, 2015 when we. So
What,
almost 10
was it
years.
actually?
Yeah, that's,
was it
yeah,
actually?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
No way.
so next year's 10 years. I've 52 on. All the lads is like 20,
Honestly.
13 or 40.
Holy.
Yeah, so in reality we are 10 years, but we established it as a limited company in 2015. So that's like official, innit? So
That's flipping crazy.
next year we can do a 10-year D-Day bash. Yeah, feel like ethically, I feel like we've always tried to do best we can, and not just go without, like rather than shouting about, we just try and do everything best we can.
I'd say it's just like a freedom of expression, really, on the bike side of things, isn't it? It's like not worrying what anybody thinks, just going out and being yourself on the bike and riding what makes you tick, and not when it all going back to the beginning, we'd be like in the woods riding the track, and Luce would just see something over there, and he'd be gone for half an hour trying to ride on something no one else had ever touched, and it's just like just always looking at stuff a little bit differently than your average rider, I guess. But then it's been amazing to see how that's opened up the scene in a way, like the creativity in riding. And obviously we had influences from outside of mountain bikes. We've always watched a lot of BMX and skateboarding, and you see the skateboarding stuff, they're so creative. There's 100 ways to ride one spot, isn't there? And I think Luce has really blown the doors open with that, and like just seeing things, doing something what most people would think would be peculiar, just riding it and enjoying it. And that's kind of, I'd say for me, that was kind of what it meant in the beginning, was just like doing things a bit differently like that.
Nice. Yeah, it brought like when we went on like riding BMX, we'd go for like a day just to a random place you've never been, and that excitement of rolling around on your bike and not sure what you're going to come across, and then finding something and riding it is like such a...
That was the draw.
Yeah, just like the exploration, unsure of what you're going to come across, equaling always a good time finding something, and it's like a whole formula, like setting out with nothing, coming back with everything. In a way.
yeah, totally. And like, funny, Luce told me to rewatch this video from when we went to New Zealand. What year was that? 17 or 18? Anyway, we went to New Zealand and we travelled around and we met just like groups of kids everywhere we went, and I think that's what sort of really translates. Is like, I feel it when I get on my bike, and I definitely see it in Luce when he's on the bike, but a very youthful energy. It's like we're still buzzing to ride our bikes, and I think that's what makes all the jibbing and silly stuff happen, is because you see a curb and or a route, whatever it is, something little, and you're like, yeah, I've got something for that. And like when we travel around, or the kids, the younger generation of riders coming up who are now see some of the names pop up and they're doing amazing stuff, but they'd come and we'd ride with them in the towns we went through, and the excitement for just like anything we could find, and we were all sessioning stuff. It was so good, wasn't it?
That was a mental year. That was like the year where I was like, wow. We went So we set off from home to Jamaica to do the Jamaica video, and then we went from there to San Fran for the film premiere with Fox that we did, and then to New Zealand for that trip, and then I went on to Tassie after that, and that was like a year or so after like leaving being an electrician. So just like we're on now. It was mental, and like it kind of felt like we were like a band touring at that point. Like we create, when I watched that video, it's like we'd stop and there'd be like group rides ready to go with us, and we'd be like all exhausted, and like from last group ride, everyone's just like buzzing to show you like their little pull at the local spot, and
and we do the group ride with like the blue trails and stuff, which was for everyone. And then there'd always be the group of like kids at the end, like, I've got to show you this stuff over here. And then we'd go over there and just have a mad session with them on something, and like the little breakaway cruise.
Yeah.
So good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was special. Good times. But then like that, like circling back to the brand, and like it like we were doing his t-shirts and a few bits of casual, and then sort of it like. We wanted to make things that we'd use ourselves. That was the number one. So if we're going to make something, it needs to be something that we're using all day in the woods and putting it to test, and something that is functional for us. So then like shifting that to the kit, we were in like a position where we'd come to the end of a kit contract, and it was like, right, let's just try and do our own. So that was like where it shifted, I feel, from being a few tees and that to like, we're making something for mountain bikers now.
It turned into a business.
Yeah.
It was like it was actually a fun thing. We'd get together and like design a thing, and it was just an excuse for me, you, Sambo, and Pete to hang out initially, wasn't it? Like
we'd have a few beers and bounce ideas. We'd have a business meeting, and it'd be like, and then by end we'd have a few notes here and there, and it's
But then like once the kit started rolling, it's like a functioning business now. Like Ralph, employee, overheads, things that need to do, and like that's
that keeping on. It's like that is a whole thing that needs keeping up, and then there's people there that need that. So it's like you got to be. It becomes something that could just do here and there to like, this stuff needs doing. So it's been a big help.
We could just drop it and pick it up again when we needed to, but now it's like every day, isn't it?
Yeah.
For Ralph and yourself.
Yeah, but it's like rolling really good now. Ralph's just picked up what so naturally, and brings like so much like good positive creativity to it, and it's like sick for us being able to like focus on the riding and our art, and then like Ralph's able to be here every day, and customer service, all that stuff. People want to return things, something don't fit, or and designing new bits, like that's all stuff that we'd be having to do, and now it's like being able to focus on the art and look where it's going, rather than be like just constantly.
The main thing we usually get interested in and sort of what started was like collabs with brands, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And like that set us off, like doing the top caps with Bergtech and the Marsh Guards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like collabs have always been quite a thing, but it's just a bit of a minefield, sort of sifting through what's going to work for both brands, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
And like who's getting what out of it. But I think that's a really nice thing for us to be able to offer, is like if there's a product out there that's like exists and is already mint, and we can just like collab with the brand and put our logo on it, and then we share that between us. We're not having to go and like redesign something. That's always a nice thing to do, and like share the following of each company and bring them together. Like that's always seems like a positive one.
Yeah, that's like it feels good to do that. It's like you both bring something to the table, and it's like using each other's strengths to make something flourish and have fun with it. Basically, like that's the cool side of it. Like someone being willing to be like, this is our thing. We want to collaborate with you. This is what it might look like, and you see, for example, a shoe maybe, or something like that. You know, and you're like, yo, it's just mad, fun to do, which is the main thing. And then I would say like there's no real at this point now like zoom out and with like, you know, trail building, like you say, filming. A lot of us are into music, like events. We've ran our own events, so like we can put on a good time, whether that's round bikes or not. Yeah, I don't feel like it draws a line under. I mean, obviously we're a brand that supplies clothes, but you know, it's just it's really hard to like put a finger on. It's just a good energy, I think, that's like surrounded it, probably from so many people being involved and it being about everyone's same passion, like riding. And I think like with the films and all that, it's all not one, like it wouldn't have grown to where it is now if it weren't for everyone. You know, it's very much it's like it's greater than the sum of its parts, if you know what I mean. Sure. Like when I'm doing the films, I'm like, if that was just all my footage in one edit, there's no way it wouldn't reach, or like just one of each. The fact that it's everyone together riding and having fun is something that's so rare, and
I guess
what like calls out to people is like this is like a bunch of professional riders who are all like best mates and pushing each other through the love of progression.
Totally, I think that's something I've not touched on at all, and it's like we've been talking about the business side of it and stuff like that, but and like me and Luce and Sambo and Steve who are the founders, but like Craig, Dave, Sammy, Pales, everyone locally who comes riding with us, like the crew extends so far. It's like the firm, you know. There's guys you see every week. There's guys you see once every 6 months, but they're all some way a part of it, and like that is what it is, isn't it? That's what it's about. Just getting them special times when you're all together on bikes, enjoying it, and yeah. But mate, you can see the spike in the sales from the film coming out, can't you? That's like a direct, crazy.
And I think like it's most effective as well. I feel like where we're at and what we're doing, we don't have to be like every day like, go watch this. Like I was just saying to you about the film, it just hit 100,000 views the other day, and I'd put one Insta clip out on 52, and it went like every 2 days, like go watch this. Or like, and that like I would have liked to have promoted it more, but I was just, you know, busy, and it was doing well and rah, and it's just
that's a prime example of quality, not quantity.
Yeah, and also like not giving anything away on Insta. It was like a very little tasty snippet, and then but then everyone went to watch it. It was an hour long, you know what I mean? So like, I mean, people are out getting 100,000 views daily. I'm not, but like to me that means a lot. That's 100,000 hours that I created in my bedroom that someone sat and watched.
That's insane, isn't it? Yeah, when you think about that.
Yeah, so it's like it means a lot. It does, and that's what, from my point of view, keeps me wanting to go do it again and again. It does take, it's a lot of time and energy, and you know what I mean, commitment. But like,
because is 1,000 hours a working year, roughly, isn't it? I think I worked it out roughly because that's how we do machinery, like not miles, it's hours, and I'm pretty sure 1,000 hours is like if you was working a machine 9 to 5.
Like 35 hours a week.
Yeah, roughly, something like that.
I mean, as it seemed like, I'm just constantly sort of taken back without, you know, you don't look past the next day or the next day figuratively being the year or whatever. It's like, this is my riding season. This is like a passion project that's like been like fighting fires and meeting demand, and like not being able to come up and be like, oh look what we've made. It's been like, right, this needs doing, do that, order this, da. But then when you zoom out, you're like, this is actually like, there isn't like a team of people behind this. There's like Ralph, and then there's us doing bits and bobs here and there.
There's two.
And like, people speak to you like, oh, can you just run this by your team of people? So I was like, alright, yeah, Ralph. And then, you know what I mean? It's like people think that it's like this big industry, like, and it's not. It's like we're just riders who are making something for riders. And like we've seen that with like people now getting in touch, wanting support for like racing, and like, so we're like, wow, people are wanting to run, like coming to us to sponsor. So like now it's like, building the team even broader to like people wanting to use it for performance reasons, really. Racing, like seeing it as something, and like what we're about, and then like what we can offer in return is like helping them get, coming and being part of films, and like, and it's like we offer more than a bit of budget here and there. It's like if we can offer someone exposure and like them bring to us, it's like a two-way thing and just helping grow, and like I don't know, it's just
to where we are now, everything just happens so naturally and like not randomly, but without too much like thought about it or like no structured plannings. It's just kind of unfolded and just fallen into place, and I feel like that's probably how it will continue. Just see where it ends up. Innit? It's like obviously you're putting loads of effort in it. Nothing's just happened. Everything's been worked towards very hard, lots of hours put in, but similarly very few of those hours have been forecasting and planning. It's just been doing what we enjoy or doing where we feel, and that's how it's ended up here, isn't it? That's probably what the future looks like too, isn't it?
More creations, more films, projects.
Grow the team.
Include
New riders in the videos and just expand that. And
help people out how we appreciate being helped through our journey. Help give some knowledge and help, and I don't know, be there as like, I wouldn't have got here if it weren't for him. And there's like people, everyone's helped each other and showed each other like generosity, and that like you want to pass that on. So it's like
in the initial years, like from the t-shirt sales, we'd save up a few grand, and at the end of the year we'd throw a party, works due, and Matt was like, anything we made, we invited everyone for a party and we'd just go wild for a weekend. And Matt was like the buzz, and Matt's evolved into like being able to give Propane Positive some budget, give the boys some budget. So that's like evolved with us as like adults in a way. We've gone from like kids partying to like let's try and support some of the local riders, and even growing to like financially support these people who are out there working, trying to make it in the industry. And like that's a beautiful evolution to watch, because it's just like it's crazy. It's like it's beautiful to see that, and that's cool to look back on for me and reflect. Gone from just partying.
No, for real though, like being able to offer lads a little bit of, like, I've been there, you got to fight for budget off these companies, and you got to like really show, what I mean, be ready to be like, nah, I'm worth this. And like if we can sort of turn t-shirt sales in these films where the boys are putting effort in to come out with us and spend days filming, build stuff and be like, this is what I want to save for your project, then for us to turn that around eventually into sales and be like, here's some money in return to put towards your salary for year.
And I don't know what percentage the big companies do for marketing. I'm sure there's a fairly decent formula people have come up with, but I know that we're flipping tight with what we've got on our hip, but we make sure we can sort as many people out with as much as we possibly can, which isn't much, but that's just being in the industry these days. It's tough times, isn't it? But it feels good to put that into the up and coming youth and the boys who've helped get us to where we are.
Perfect. Nice one, lads. That's spot on.
Yeah.
That is spot on.